It's party time. Y'all, it's party time. Can you see it? It's party time. We made it, y'all. We made it to the end. And guess what? It's party time. Oh, it's party time. Where my streamers? My little blowhorn. It's a celebration. Y'all see my hat? I'm the party queen because it's party time. Yes, y'all, I'm excited. The hat probably done messed my curls up, so I'm gonna just leave it on. But yes, it is fitting to have a party because we dealing with some clowns. But we having this party for us. This is our celebration because we made it. We don't have to look at Katie's bottom row of teeth anymore. We don't have to look at Taylor's wig anymore. We don't have to look at Michael close his eyes when he talks anymore. We don't have to look at Mika sometimes do the stone face, but sometimes try to smile anymore. We don't have to look at Brandon's black earrings. We don't have to look at Derek. Well, child, we like looking at Derek. We like looking at Derek. It's just so many things that we don't have to watch anymore because we've been set free. So this party here is for us, and it's party time. Ooh, it's party time. Okay, let me get to it because I only got a few minutes. I have to do my Little Fires Everywhere review if I can get to it today. So y'all catch up on Little Fires Everywhere if you're not watching it. But right now, let's get to Married at First Sight. The last, I got to one more time. I'm so excited. Okay, so it is decision day, and I was really happy because I got to do so much fast forwarding past all of those flashbacks. I watched the episode in like an hour. It was great. So everybody's been asking, and we finally get to see, Dr. Mr. Pibb back. She finally done made her entrance back into the scene. She's the sociologist of the group. If you ask me, I'm mad at all of them sitting in front of them, but okay, fine. So my question is, how do they decide who goes first? Because in some situations, the women would go first, and then other situations, the man would go first. So I'm trying to figure out how do they decide who gets to say they don't want to be married anymore. Like, I feel like we should go on 3. Like, 1, 2, 3. I want to be together. Or, I don't want to be with you. I don't feel like one person, because, like, they give you room. Because if I went second, and the first person was just like, okay, well, I don't want to be with you. Even if I wanted to be with them, I'm going to be like, well, yeah, I was going to say the same thing. But I don't know. Okay, excuse me. It's hot in here. So, Jessica and Austin go first. And they're both talking about how they didn't really end their last night together the way they would have wanted. They argued. And neither one of them really kind of took the initiative to apologize to one another or to try to get their situation right. So they both were feeling pretty guilty about that, which I knew they would be. Jessica talks about how kind and caring and patient Austin is and how he calms her, which I thought was really sweet. And I think that is what, even though a lot of women don't know how to verbalize it, I think a lot of us want that because by nature I think we worry about stuff that maybe you guys don't worry about. And so we'll find ourselves like, some of us can have very be highly stressed and highly anxious, and some of us can be very, very particular. It's men like that too, but I meet a lot of women who are this way. So having somebody who calms you is a really big deal. I thought that was sweet. Let's see what else. Austin says that everything has been great, and they've been on the same page about everything from having kids to what they want to do with their future, and so that part is really good. The part that's been the source of contentment really has been the I love you thing, as well as the travel thing. And I thought that Jessica did a great job verbalizing herself in this instance. Before, it just kind of sounded like she was just kind of worrying him about it, but wasn't really speaking what the real issue was from her heart. And the real issue was that she's just nervous that they're going to lose their connection and that, they may stray away from each other. But the distance could also be good. She doesn't want to lose what they have. And I think Austin was a little bit more understanding of that at that time. And he also said that he needed to address her concerns about him moving around a lot or traveling a lot for work. But that's something they're going to get through. Even Pastor Cal says, child, us sitting over here, we travel all the time and we have to make our marriages work as well. So it's something that they're going to get through. The experts tell them it's doable. The I love you thing, still Jessica is saying that she knows he'll say it when he's ready. And this happened to be the time that Austin was ready. I thought it was so sweet. He says, when I look at you, I see somebody that has my back every day. And that's why I love you. I was like, oh, Austin. I didn't think he was going to say it. I thought he was going to hold out, but even Pastor Cal noted that he had already been doing it in action, and a lot of times when you see people doing it, the word becomes a smaller word. I think that depends on who you are. That also depends on your love style. Some of us need to hear stuff. If you're a words of expression type of person, you got to hear it. The actions are good too. Now, because I've had some people tell me they love me and put no action behind it. So the action is important, but you know, some people just need to hear things. That's the way that they like to be loved or whatever. So, yeah, they good, y'all. That's all I got to say. They good. And he said he felt great saying it. I was just like, we love to see it. We love to see it. Okay. Taylor and Brandon, they were next. So what I will say is I don't understand why Taylor did not wear. What happened to the model wig that was a little bit more tamed? What happened to that one that had that same type of look, but it was like a little, it was just tamed. It was tamed. But she been holding out with her other wig, so she put the wet and wavy on. And she came on to Decision Day. Her outfit was cute. Her shoes were cute. Mama was looking good. I will give her that. And she goes to talk to the experts. Brandon is not there at the time, and she's not really sure if Brandon is going to show up. And so she's a little sad about that. They began talking to Taylor about the relationship and what they've been through. And Taylor says that they have been spending time together off camera. And yes, Brandon does want an apology from production because of how everything played out. But off camera, we really have been working on something. And I think there could have been a chance that something may, you know, have sparked in him without those cameras. She talks about how he is stubborn, and sometimes that does make her overwhelmed. I was kind of upset that Brandon showed up late, and I was a little more upset that Brandon didn't get a chance to voice his concerns. Like, yes, he did, you know, he put on a show, most definitely, but I would have liked to also hear him voice what his concern. Like, I wanted to hear both sides voice their concerns, just like Jessica and Austin got to do. And so Brandon came in later, and it's the way Brandon came in, I think, that was pissing people off. But I just want to let y'all know that what Brandon did was to piss y'all off. So if you were pissed, he succeeded. He came in there and he was just like, hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hello. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? So he comes in. He has a seat. Pastor Cal already looking at him like he's disgusted. And, you know, they talk about his difficulties that he's had with production. And he said, well, the problem was I was late for work after the cabin trip with the other couples. And I was late for work another time. And I said that I needed to be back by a certain time, and the production made me late. And so I wanted an apology for making me late. And I got that. And that's why I'm sitting here today. So to me, that said a lot. Like, I don't know if he knew what it was saying, but to me, it said a lot. You're not here for the girl that you said that you want to try to work it out with off camera. You're here because you finally got your apology. And now you deem the situation worthy enough for you to come over there and sit down. Like, you weren't going to just come just for her whether you got your apology or not. You needed what you needed first, and then you were going to show up. So that just shows, you know, I mean, neither one of them are ready for marriage, in my opinion. But he definitely showed that he's not ready for marriage because it's about what I want first. And everything else is going to be secondary. And everybody knows you can't be in a marriage with that kind of attitude or behavior. And Taylor has a little bit of that in her as well. You know, I'm going to do what I want. And then, you know, everything else is going to come secondary. So the fact that they're sitting on the couch together is ironic. But Brandon doesn't get to voice any of his concerns about Taylor because now all of a sudden he got to pee. And Pastor Cal is just like, Brandon, are you serious? Like, in the middle of this? Yeah, I got to go to the bathroom. So he gets up, he's talking to other people while he's gone to the bathroom. You know, he don't care. He gaslighting production at this point. He gaslighting the experts at this point. They're all falling for it. Pastor Cal even called him a liar, which I thought was funny, and said, no, we did not purposely make you late to work 2 times. I do not agree with that. I don't know what I believe at this point when it comes to production and Brandon, but I do know that reality television was never for him. He probably never needs to be on it again, so I hope he doesn't try any other type of thing like this again. Let's see what else. He's smirking and smiling. I mean, he really is acting like a sociopath. Honestly, and it's all to piss people off, right? That's what he came for. He came to piss people off. He doesn't really care if he gets Taylor back or not. And Taylor does make the decision that she does not want to be with Brandon and that she would like to get a divorce. I don't know why he was looking like he was surprised by that. Like, you didn't even come for y'all to stay together. You came to do what you came to do and you succeeded in it. And then, you know, you put your book bag on, you got your Dora the Explorer on, and you left, you know, per usual. It's the same thing that we're used to seeing with the two of them, with Taylor and Brandon. I'm glad they didn't decide to stick it out. It would have been a waste of time. Brandon says that he's always had pretty good relationships. He's never had any problems like this. And I mean, I don't know, maybe, but you did come to a show to try to get married, so obviously none of those relationships were progressing to a marriage. And you're not a spring chicken, you know, you're getting up there, so it's just kind of like, okay, but child, let me not. Anyway, he says that he would never do anything like this again, and you know, all this, that, and the third. I would have been fine with Brandon's behavior if he was 23 years old and this was the Bad Boys Club and he was coming in there gaslighting production. That's the type of behavior I expect from Oxygen, right? That's the type of behavior I expect from those girls, those types of people, even like a Love and Hip Hop. But, you know, it was just kind of like, okay, get them off the screen. Let's move on. They're not going to be together, so great. All right. It reminded me of when Taylor was calling him my little diva, the way he walked out. But anyway, Mika and Michael. I gotta say, Mika was looking good. I said, come on, Mika. You know, this is how you get a divorce. This is how you look when you get a divorce. So Mika comes out. She has on a beautiful dress. Her and Michael kind of get there close to around the same time. She gets there first. And once Michael gets there, they begin talking about their relationship. Pastor Cal brings up that the biggest caveat in their relationship thus far really has been the problems with honesty. That has not been the only problem in their relationship, but I guess, I don't know. I mean, y'all not pressed for time. You got 2 hours, but I guess y'all just like, let's make the decisions and go. So, okay, but that's not their only issue. And if anybody thinks that's their only issue, you haven't been watching this show closely enough. But, they talk about the honesty because that is a big deal. And Michael says that there were times where he wasn't really accountable previously. He didn't really see what the issue was. And this experience has taught him. I feel like Michael was coming from a very, like a growth and learning place. Like it showed me a lot about myself, a lot of things that I need to work on, a lot of attitudes and behaviors that I have in my marriage as an individual that don't work for a marriage. And that is great that he's come to that realization. I know y'all wasn't feeling the speech, but I thought that was good that he came to that realization because that's a problem that a lot of the other couples have. They put their individual needs in before their marriage. And I'm not saying that you should suffer within your marriage, definitely not. But I'm saying if you have an individualistic attitude, then stay single, right? And just think about yourself. If that's all you're going to do anyway, but you're not going to come into marriage, think about yourself, and then want me to think about you while you thinking about yourself. No. Okay, we're not going to do that. This is a partnership, and we have to make it work that way. So I was glad that he came to that realization. He also says that there were times where to get through life and to manage things and to get through what he was going through, he just learned to kind of finesse and lie. And he brought that into his marriage, and it wasn't a good idea. Ultimately, y'all, Mika wanted a divorce. So I don't. It's not even too much more to talk about. What I will say is that he seemed hurt by it, but I don't feel like Michael wants to be with Mika. I feel like he didn't think that she was a nice person, and he felt like embarrassed every time she would call him out. So I don't think he wants to be with her anyway. So I'm not really sure. I don't know. I mean, maybe it was embarrassing. Now that I can understand that, but I don't think he wanted to be with her anyway. So it's for the best. What I will say for the two of them is that I hope they looked at themselves on screen, Taylor and Brandon as well, looked at themselves on screen, saw how they were behaving in whatever measures, see some of the feedback that they get from the experts as well as some of the viewers, because them viewers will give it to you straight, and make whatever necessary changes they need to make. Because y'all know I like Mika, but with Mika, I feel like she brings her business sense, like her work self, into a relationship, and you kind of have to learn how to code switch. She does very well at communicating, but you know what? Maybe I just need to see her with somebody else that she actually likes. That also is the issue. But I just hope she knows when to switch it on and switch it off, and be, you know, one way with her man, and then another way, you know, business, all, you know, no nonsense Mika in the workplace, which I think she probably does when she's with somebody she likes. Because I really don't think she's been feeling him. But anyway, what else? Derek. Okay, let's get to Derek and Katie. I know all of us wanted Derek to say no, but I already knew, because I told y'all, I read the spoilers, that they were going to stay together. Derek got out of that SUV, and I said, yes, Derek. Derek was looking good, honey. Derek was looking like a snack, a fresh one. Okay, used by. Okay, I just bought it today. He was looking real good. I said, Katie, listen, if you don't want him, I know somebody who do. I know a couple of people who would, myself included. So anyway, they go in, and Katie gets there after Derek, and they start talking about, Derek is good for the most part. He says it seems like sometimes they get along great, and other times they don't get along. Like, he doesn't know what happens, but he does know that he likes a lot of things about Katie, and he wants to see them build a future together, right? All right. So Katie is doing all of this, you know, red flagging and stuff that's not really working in their relationship. And sometimes it seems like we're not really on the same page. And she says the emotional connection is not there, but the friendship part is. And I'm just like, now some episodes back, I remember Katie being extra concerned that he was not falling for her in the same way she felt like she was falling for him. Do I have that wrong? Am I tripping? Because isn't this where the whole, you know, upsetness about that poem he wrote and the fact that he's never been in love before, isn't where all of that was coming from? Like, I'm feeling you a little bit more than you're feeling me possibly, and I'm scared of that? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. So why is it all of a sudden that you don't feel like there's an emotional connection there? Or do you not feel it on his part? Like, where is this coming from? She says that they have more of a friendship than they do a partnership, which, she don't know this, but having a friendship will save your relationship every single time. Because if you can find them on a friendship level, it can really help you out on the emotional level. And Pastor Cal ends up telling her that. And I was glad that the expert pointed out, because I was thinking this, that passion and that whole sexual experience that you might be wanting is really hard to do on camera, because there's so many eyes watching you. And I know I would be like that. Like, I would be thinking about my mama watching and my grandma, and, you know, I'm not really trying to do all this sexy time on camera, you know, trying to be low-key or nasty talking. And, you know, Katie's a freak. I think we figured that out by now. And Derek's a little bit more conservative. But, I mean, I've seen that work. I've seen that work with people. I think it could work. But, you know, they end up staying together. But I really wish Derek would have stopped wasting his time right at that moment. Because Katie, she just... I mean, I don't think that anybody should... I'm not going to say have to settle if you're not really feeling it. But... the things that Katie is stating that she wants from a man, Derek has. So I'm a little bit confused. Unless he's not good in bed. Like, is that what it is? I don't know. Or maybe they don't have the same sexual style. I've seen couples go through that, where one couple is more like a wham bam, thank you ma'am. And the other couple's like real romantical, like a lot of candles and full play, and they trying to meet in the middle and can't. That might be the issue. I don't get Katie. I think she's a sad case. I think she's immature. I want her to get that bottom row right. I'm a stickler for some straight teeth, y'all. Y'all can tell I spent a lot of money getting mine right? But yeah, I think she's immature. I think she's childish, and I don't really think she realizes what she could be passing on. And I'm not saying that Derek's innocent, because he might have his stuff with him. He didn't portray it on TV if he does. Let's see. And then lastly, we have Mindy and Zach. Okay, y'all, I was rudely interrupted, so I got to finish the last part of the video in the car. Ignore that stuff in the back. I've been cleaning out my storage unit, so it has been a process. Okay, so lastly, we have Mindy and Zach. And Mindy is just telling Zach that he hasn't really been a good supportive husband to her. Maybe he'll be a good supportive husband to somebody else, but it really did hurt because she put a lot into it. However, she has applied all of the things that the experts have given her. She had a really good life before and she was happy, and she wanted to bring somebody into that happiness. But she still has a really good life now, and she will date again, which I think is awesome. Now, Zach tells us that he realized once they started spending time together that he had a lot of walls up. And you know, those bridges were really hard to tear down. Well, not bridges, those walls were hard to tear down. Seems like he let Lindsay tear them walls down, or maybe he tore them walls down. But walls was torn down with Lindsay, but they weren't with Mindy. But that's okay, we're gonna keep going. And that he really has a lot to offer a woman. And he wished that he would have taken the time to really get to know Mindy better and to really treat her right. He never meant to hurt her. He never meant to do the things that he did, and that he wished he would have done a little bit better. And he's learned some things about himself through this process. He did not come for show business, okay? He did not come to be seen. This is not the show that he would come to do that, which this isn't the show that I would come on just to be on reality television. But Zach, you know, we've been giving you the side eye. And then in the reunion, he looking like Harry Potter. So I don't really know what's up his sleeve. We're just going to have to see what's next. But of course, they decided to get a divorce, and then they move on. And later we see everybody getting together but Brandon. Everybody gets together to go have some drinks and have a good time and laugh and kiki with one another. See who made it, see who didn't. We see Katie and Derek moving to their new place. We see Jessica and Austin moving forward as well. So all's well that ends well. The two people that we thought would stay together stayed together. The other couple, it ain't long till they get a divorce, especially since we heard that Katie had an affair. Derek, you about to be the most eligible bachelor in DC. Okay, you romantic and you responsible. Oh yes, somebody about to lock that down. But poor whoever it is going to have to help Derek heal past whatever hurt he went through with Katie. See, it ain't fair when you do that to people. And that's all y'all out there hurting folk. But anyway, y'all, I'm the party queen. Okay, y'all can like, comment, and subscribe. And like I said, the reunion I'm going to watch. But, I mean, we don't have to review it because the majority didn't say we needed to. So, I'm not going to do it. I think I'm going to go ahead and do my little Fires Everywhere review. So, y'all stay tuned for that if you watch the show. And I will see you guys not for Married at First Sight. Although it will be in New Orleans. I was tempted, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So, I will see y'all for something else. And, for those of you who have just subscribed for this, hey, I understand there's no hard feelings if you gotta unsubscribe. You know, we had a good time. Okay, shout out to the party queen. I don't know when y'all will see her again. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.